Hi, everybody. Dan Illman along with Matt Bernier. He's never looked better. Taking a look at the feature race at Santa Anita on Saturday. It's the Grade 1 Beholder Mile, and you can play it with your own DRF Bets account. Join the Belmont Stakes action in a week and a half or so with free cash. Learn more at drf.com/bet. Let's take a look at the field for the Grade 1 Beholder. Only a field of 6, but some very big names, Matt. And we got to start things off with the big girl, the number 6, Unique Bella. 3 to 5, Mike Smith, Jerry Hollendorfer. Last time out was a disastrous trip to Oaklawn Park.
Yeah, it certainly was. Clearly, she didn't handle the ship as well as they would have liked. Obviously, the wet track and the sealed surface went against her, but we had that video from Mary Rampolini and company that showed she was a little bit uncomfortable schooling in the gate the day prior to the Apple Blossom, and guess what? She broke terribly, went down almost to her knees, and she was a little bit lit up after that, but I guess that's part of the concern with a horse like this. It doesn't seem like she is fully matured mentally yet. She's brilliant talent-wise. No one's going to argue that, but at what's going to be short odds, something in the 2 to 5, 3 to 5 range, you got to ask yourself, do you really trust her?
3 to 5 on the morning line. You mentioned she didn't break in the Apple Blossom. Does that bother you? Do you think that that's a situation of a horse signaling, hey, I'm off form, I'm a little bit sour. We saw that she didn't break in that video that Mary Rampolini and Jim Dunleavy produced for us early in the morning during the workout session. Then she didn't break in the Apple Blossom. Does that concern you that maybe this is a filly that's saying, I'm a little off form?
I guess it's tough to tell because that was her first time out of California. So I don't know if it was a matter of her just not used to her surroundings or it is her going off form. I guess I'm willing to give her a mulligan and say, you know what, until you do it again, then I won't necessarily think that you are going the wrong way. As of right now, though, it is one of those things. I mean, until you see what she does on Saturday afternoon, you don't really know.
All things considering, she ran really well in the Apple Blossom. You mentioned it was a wet track. She, of course, didn't break. She then rushed up to battle for the lead. She made the front turning into the stretch. She turned back the first bid from Streamline and couldn't hold off the Pletcher trainee Unbridled Mo. It was a good performance. The time before that, she popped a 109 buyer when loose on the lead. Timeform US believes that she'll make the lead yet again, only this time that red bar indicates there could be a fast pace in play. Do you think Unique Bella's loose?
I have to be honest with you. Now, again, I don't know if this is how it's going to play out, but if I were the connections involved with Paradise Woods, I would be the one saying, we're going to the front. Make Unique Bella make a decision because I'm not convinced she can successfully rate kindly. And you know what? Paradise Woods, her recent form has been a little suspect as well when she's not on the lead. When she's on the lead, she can spread eagle of field. I would personally flip-flop that, have the 4 in front of the 6.
Paradise Woods' last 2 victories came in gate-to-wire fashion, including a score in the Grade 1 Zenyatta Stakes at Santa Anita, at a mile and a 16th. We know when she's good, she's very good. It's just been a shame that these connections have had a whale of a time keeping her sound. She ran on the Santa Monica last time out. I know Selcourt and Marley's Freedom are 2 very sharp sprinters, but Paradise Woods had a really nice trip on the outside and just had no punch in the lane. And Richard Mandella after the race said she just came back with really tender feet.
And you know, you brought up the slow start for Unique Bella. Paradise Woods had a pretty slow start in that race as well, and then she finally got up into the run. But like you say, between the physical issues that she's clearly had and also, you know, she's not immune to throwing in a clunker here and there, which is a little bit of a concern for a horse like this. The only reason I bring up the idea of being aggressive and saying, you know what, we're going to be hell-bent on making the front. Go through and look. The Zenyatta, she was out there on a clear lead. She was setting legitimate fractions, but she was by herself. Go back to that Santa Anita Oaks. She's out there winging it on the front end. Then the La Brea, okay, she was forwardly placed, and she just got run down by Unique Bella. I think with the way the posts have broken down, if it were me involved with this horse, I would be on a dead send out of the gate.
You know, Vale Dory's not slow from the gate either. A lot of her big victories, including a score in the Grade 1 Santa Margarita in 2017, came in gate-to-wire fashion for Bob Baffert. And if it wasn't for 2 close defeats at the hooves of champion Stellar Wind, she would have had an 8-race win streak, I believe, at one point going into her most recent start. Now, she ran in the Adoration. It was an extremely long layoff. I think we can give her a mulligan for that race. Second start of the form cycle, what do we get out of Vale Dory other than a solid price for her? Third choice on the line at 4 to 1.
That might be the most appealing thing for her, is that if you believe that there's still some effort in there and there's still some run, you're looking at a horse that on her best day can earn a triple-digit buyer. I guess I just wanted to see something in the Adoration, and she just seems so flat. Usually she's up there close, pushing the pace. She was just much farther back than I think we're all accustomed to. And you're right, she'd been gone for a long time, but that is part of the reason I'm a little bit concerned. She'd missed all that time, and who knows, is she come back the same as a 6-year-old? She's starting to get a little bit long in the tooth. She's going to need to run at least well. She doesn't need to win this race on Saturday, but if she doesn't run well, I'm going to start to think we're going the wrong way.
She finished behind the number 3 LaForce in the Adoration. LaForce, I think Paddy Gallagher, has really gotten as much out of LaForce as he's going to get. He's gotten her graded stakes placed. She's only 2 for 19 lifetime. I think Gallagher has done a really good job with LaForce in maximizing her potential on the dirt. They started her out with many races on the turf, and it appears she is a dirt filly. I'm just not sure she's good enough to beat the big 3.
Agreed. I guess the only way that I could draw up a scenario where she even threatens is if the big 3 just throw it down early and it turns into an absolute stagger fest. But having said that, I think their class is just too much for her.
And I think you could also make the argument that there's a better closer right next door, and that's the number 2 Mopetism. Certainly has got a little bit more class with a graded stakes win under her belt. The turf experiment lasted 1 week. They ran her in the Gamely last week, and it appears she does not handle the turf. We know she's okay on the dirt. It's just that Unique Bella hammered her so badly in the Santa Maria, it's hard to imagine her turning the tables.
Agreed. And, I thought going into the Gamely, that was nothing more than the connections trying to find out if she could stand up on grass. She certainly can't do that. And I think at best they're looking for a minor reward here. If they can run third, I think they'll be happy.
Money Spunt completes the field. She came off of a long layoff for Doug O'Neill last time out in a 2X, and I guess she was on kind of a fast pace before understandably tiring. These connections already have gotten pretty much everything they could have expected out of Money Spunt. They claimed her for 25. She ended up winning a graded stakes race, albeit via disqualification. She is made as a broodmare. She's got a little bit of speed too from the rail, but there are a lot of class concerns.
Agreed. She is made, but I would imagine adding a grade 1 placing possibly would help her value a little bit as well. I don't know that she's the most likely candidate for an underneath slot simply because she's a little bit slow, but if I were them, I would try to just make that one run and hopefully you can hit the board.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Grade 1 Beholder Mile. Really a very important race for these 3 big names. Important for Vale Dory to show that she can get back to that sparkling form of late 2016 and into 2017. Very important race for Paradise Woods to get back on the winning beam after 3 consecutive losses. One at a very disappointing short price, and a very, very important race for Unique Bella after that slow break in the Apple Blossom. Is she that 109 horse in the Santa Maria? A lot of folks believe that. I think Unique Bella gets through this. You've always loved Paradise Woods, and you want her aggressively ridden.
And I have to be honest, I don't know that it's going to happen, but in a perfect world, I'd love to see them just send hard and say, you know what, Unique Bella, you might be a superior talent, but you've got to make a decision too. And we've seen when you don't get everything your way, you can be a little bit of a goofball as well. Paradise Woods, I don't know if she can still do it, but if I were involved, I would be on a dead send out of the gate.
How would you play the race? You probably get 2 to 1, 5 to 2 on Paradise Woods, considering she's a multiple graded stakes winner. That might be a fair price. In the multis, are you using Unique Bella? I think you have to, right?
Yeah, I'm not that bold. I think she's certainly the horse to beat in this spot, and I would use both of them. Probably an equal weight, pretty darn close. I guess if I absolutely had to make a play in this race, I would try to beat Vale Dory and maybe use Mopetism in third, so just play some sort of a cold trifecta or something along those lines. I went 4-6-2.
Matt's going 4-6-2. I'm going 6-4-3-2 in the Grade 1 Beholder Mile, one of 2 stakes races at the Great Race Place on Saturday. You can bet them with your new DRF Bets account. Sign up, get free cash just in time for all the Belmont Stakes action. Find out more at drf.com/bet and approximate post time for the Grade 1 Beholder Mile, 4:30 Pacific. Best of luck.